Hello. So I'm on a different file, so I can't change images because I lost the other file. But I'm here to finish a story and start a new one because it's gonna be freaking hilarious how I do it. Well, Laz gets injured. I appear next to her and drop all limiters. Now, if you don't remember the bleach one where I was in, yes, I'm finishing that one. So I've dropped all limiters. Illusions completely off. I'm showing my true Sampakto. I just ate breakfast, so I have some stuff stuck in my throat. Sorry if I cough and it annoys you. Sorry about that. But I've dropped all limiters. I've dropped all illusions. My Zanpakuto's true power is reality warping. And it's got a name that you'll find freaking hilarious if your sense of humor is like mine. So I'm in the middle of this battlefield. Everybody just stopped feeling my my spiritual pressure because it's that freaking high. To where I'm not even Shinigami anymore. I'm God level spiritual pressure. That's also important. But the reality of Hueco Mundo, the human world, and Soul Society are crashing together. Thanks to Aizen, thanks to the Quincy. I grab the other half of my soul, which is Laz, because I connected our souls, and after a while, they became two pieces of the puzzle. And pulled out my true Sampakto. I'm crying at this point. And I just start floating up. All the realities are meshing together. Everybody's getting hurt. Nobody feels what I feel at this point in time. And my eyes start bleeding red. And then I finally say, Bunkei. I don't even need to say the full chant. Everybody just stops. Quincy's lose their power. Sampakto just disintegrate. Everybody just stops because everything just stopped. I put my Sampakto straight up and down. And my final technique, which originally split the worlds, so I can bring balance back to the world, put the monk back on his chair, and send the evil bad guy that's been has the 1,000-year blood war all planned out back to his realm of the human realm and locked away forever. Again. Well, completely forever this time. Because I grew more and more powerful the longer I live. I say, let me show you true pain. And my Sanpok just slowly falls at first. And then after a while, it just starts speeding up. And everybody just sees this streak of light at the end touch the ground really softly. Everything just goes white. Now, let's go 10-year time skip. The realms are all put back together. Multiverse is back in order. In a specific multiverse, there's a baby being born to a clan head named Sum Inozuka. Wrong phone. Give me a second. And they don't have pretty much anything of the normal Inozuka clan traits because there's a recessive trait in Sum's family called albinism. No pigment in the skin, hair has no pigment, eyes are blonde or blue. Eyes are blonde, yes. Eyes are now blonde. It's really rare, but it still happens to people. So, Suma's like, oh crap. He can't be in the sun for very long. We skip a few years to 2.5. This tiny knife appears in Kiba's room. My room. Because that's me. It just appears. I see it. And I push it underneath the pillow. As best I can. I go around like nothing happened. Nothing's there. Until I hit 4. I built up enough scrap to build a little sheath for it. I put it in the sheath and hide it in my dresser drawer. Sum finds it. She asks what it is, and I tell her it's an old piece of knife that I found on the ground, and I want to restore it. And I have an idea for it. She asks me what this idea is, and I say, well, I want to be a ninja. So I was thinking a blade that is hidden from normal people. And she asks, what do you mean? And I go, well, most kunoichi can hide things up their... Most ninja or kunoichi can hide things up their sleeve. I was thinking a retractable one. Instead of having to put it back, it just retracts. So she gets the idea, and she goes, okay, you can't have this blade. And he goes, I need that blade. And she goes, why? And he takes it from her, puts it on the table, pulls it out, and it doesn't completely come out of the sheath anymore. And he goes, I got the beginning of it. And she goes, okay. What Sum doesn't know is the blade has grown 2 inches since I first got it. Yes, it's been a few years, but it's grown 2 inches. Now, I skip a few more years. I've gotten in contact with a bladesmith, and I gave him my idea and asked him to help me with it, because I know nothing about bladesmithing. Allegedly. Yes, I still have memories of my first life in Naruto world. So yes, I do have that knowledge. I also have the sealing knowledge. And another thing is, I've been slowly adding weights to my clothing. Nobody notices because it only affects me. Because they're blood seals on my clothing with, seals. Because since I got my blade, I've been getting stronger. And I need to hide it. So we skip till I'm 10. The blueprint is done, and the prototype is done. And I see it, and I forge out the items I need. The springs, the levers, everything. And I put it together. It's just the base of the hidden blade from Assassin's Creed currently. It doesn't have any of the arm guard yet. Well, I've been starting to get more affected by the sun because I've been going out more. So I make a new cloak. All new wardrobe. And yes, it looks like the original Assassin's Creed cloak from the Assassin's Creed games. But instead of Assassin's Creed insignias, it's Inuzuka and Konoha insignias. Well, currently it's only Inuzuka, and I have a spot for Konoha insignia. Right on the forehead, pointing down. So, that insignia is able to be placed on there very easily. But I start wearing this everywhere. Washing it once a week, but wearing it everywhere. And it goes over my normal clothes. And I don't have the normal Inuzuka face markings that most Inuzuka are born with. I have a rare version where it's on the shoulders. But it's more detailed. And I'm supposed to already have my partner by now, but there's an issue. You're supposed to be drawn to your partner in the kennels, never drawn to one. So, I'm currently 10 and a half now. And I go out on my normal hunting trip to get used to the hidden blade, because I have it currently strapped to my arm with leather and wires. And I see a beautiful white wolf and her cub. The white wolf is blood red currently because she's fighting. And the cub is just newborn. Freshly newborn. Just born a few days ago. And they're getting attacked by a bear. So, with my meager training, I jump down on the bear and cut it in the back of the neck, making it drop to the ground dead. And the wolf is scared of me because I just took down its biggest enemy yet. And it's pretty much dying. I shrink the blades, they're put away, and I slowly approach. Sniffs me, smells canine, and knows I'm not going to hurt it immediately, if at all. It knew it was dying, so it turned around, grabbed its cub with the last of its energy, and put it in my hand. I pet the cub. I start crying because I like dogs and cats and animals in general. And she's dying. I hear a voice in the back of my head saying, "Link us." I respond to it, "No." And she goes, "Link us now." And I go, "Fine." I bite my finger and drop a bit of blood on the tongue of the dog, or wolf, or any canine breed you want. It's got to be canine though, except for foxes. That's coming in later. So the dog takes in a bit of our blood, or wolf. Wolf takes in a bit of our blood, and The mother sees this and is curious on why. So I perform a few hand seals, secret Inazuka stuff. So I just run through the hand seals and link our chakras. So our partners are linked to us. And we are linked to our partners. Well, it goes so well that the voice in the back of my head, which is female, by the way, starts talking to the dog. Or wolf, or whatever. Starts talking to the wolf. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to try to say wolf now. Starts talking to the wolf. The wolf hears this and thinks it's the mother, and I just don't correct it. I walk up to the mother wolf and see that it's suffering. I shed more tears for it. And I pop my hidden blade right through its neck, putting it out of its misery because it was suffering. And I take out a storage scroll and seal it. And the voice in the back of my head is still talking to the puppy, or the cub, or whatever you want to call it, baby wolf, that I put in my jacket, like Kiba does in the show. I sealed up the wolf and went home. My mother, Sum, sees that I've been crying and sees that I have a canine partner. And sees that it's a wolf. I look at her and ask, can you do something for me? And she goes, depending on what it is, I might be able to get it done. I look directly at her, pull out the scroll and say, can I get some leather from this? And she goes, what kind? And he goes, enough to make 2 full bracers of leather. And she goes, adjustable? Yes, adjustable. She goes, what animal? Her mother. And Sum looks at this and goes, what happened? And I go, well, I was running through the forest to hunt every week like I normally do, because it's fun. And I found a bear attacking his mother and her cub. So I killed the bear. I gave it to the Akamichis. He goes, that's understandable. And I don't want this to go to waste. And I want something of this mother, because she trusted me with her cub. Sum looks at me like I'm freaking crazy, and I go, just because some people are better at parenting than you does not mean it's a surprise. And she goes, just because you can take care of puppies, cubs, and babies a lot better than I can does not mean you're better at parenting. And I go, oh, really? And who do you ask to help when you have to babysit? That's not the point. Mm-hmm. They're little freaking troglodytes, but meh. And she starts laughing, and I go, hey, would you rather me be a brash, stupid, hard-headed womanizer? And she goes, oh, hell no. And I go, there we go. Glad we're on the same page. And she goes, semi. And I go, well, I'm going to Big Sis and having her check up on my new partner. She goes, you've already done the thing? And I go, yeah, I have. The mother wanted me to. So, time to go get her checkup. Walks out of the house and hears, holy shit, she was albino. And I start laughing my ass off while I'm walking to Hana's a veterinarian clinic. I walk in and go, yo, big sis, you free? She goes, yeah, I'm just doing paperwork. And I walk right up and go, aren't you friends with Jonan? And she goes, yeah. Isn't there a clone technique that they should know that gives them like memories or something? And she goes, maybe. Why? Well, can't you just make a clone to do paperwork and have that paperwork done by the clone so you get the memories afterward? So you have more time training or being with family or like in the music clan, being with your partners. And she goes, what does it take a child to find the flaw in every single person who knows that jutsu? And I go, what jutsu? And she goes, you're not high enough a rank to learn about it. And I go, I should really go visit the Hokage. I've seen him buried behind paperwork before. Just, you visit the Hokage? And you go, yeah. I'm friends with Naruto, remember? She goes, oh yeah. You think he'd be willing to take some shots? I go, he's not afraid of needles. He's afraid of ghosts. What else? Oh yeah, he's afraid of Yoshino. He's afraid of all Akamichis when he gets stuff, because then they think it's a challenge and then he has to start eating more. So yeah, he's afraid of all Akamichis when they get into competitive rhythm. And she goes, I don't need to know all this. And I go, why not? He's a nice guy. You're only 2 years older than him. And she goes, I do not need to know this. I don't know. If anything, it would be best for him to know you. And she goes, why? I go, well, you'd calm me down a little. You'd also help him socialize with females more. Maybe help him with the romantic stuff, because we still have Hinata trying to get into his pants. And it's with him being so dense, she'd probably need a chisel and a hammer to get through that. And Hana's like, okay, first off, if you bring him by, because I've been told by his doctor that he needs shots, and we have the proper things to lock him down, because, Zoom's partner, yeah, he's afraid of shots. I start busting a gut, because I didn't know that. I go, yeah. So, I'll bring him a week from now. Maybe on a Tuesday? He goes, that works. I go, okay. Now, I have a partner. She goes, who? What? Huh? You got a partner? Who? Pulls the wolf out of my jacket and goes, her mother just died. Bear attack. I put her out of her misery. Mom is currently getting me something to remember her, because apparently I make a better parent than Mom does. Hada starts laughing her ass off, because she knows all the times that Zoom has had to do either babysitting or house sitting. I'm the one she calls. I still grumble about them being troglodytes, and I hate children, even though I'm really good with children. So she walks up, and I'm holding the cub in my arms, and she goes, can I have her? And I go, just born a few days ago, still super weak, just started the bonding process, so I do not suggest I leave her side. And she goes, why? I go, well, I haven't told Mom this. I'm probably not going to tell her ever. But you remember that blade that I found when I was little? And she goes, yeah, the one that you made into that weird blade thing? And I go, yeah. I flick it out. It's currently 1 foot long. And she goes, it was not that long when you found it? And I go, exactly. It's a special blade that I found and accidentally cut myself on, and now it's bound to me. It's like the 7 Swords of the Mist, kind of. And she goes, didn't you find another one? I go, nope. I shattered one part and made a new blade out of it. So you have 2 blades. Yes. Still the same blade, though. And she goes, what's its name? And I go, she's very picky on who knows her name. And she goes, what? I know. I told her I need to tell Mom, but no. She's like, keep me private for now. I flicked the blade back down. I go, so are you willing to give her a checkup? We go through an hour-long checkup, and she gets her shots. She has her scheduled shots. She gets a flea bath, quick one. And I take her home. I see my mom, Zoom, in Azuka, sitting at the dining room table. And she goes, okay, got some good news and I got some bad news. I say, bad news first. Bad news is we barely had enough for the gauntlets. Or the bracers. I go, good news. Good news is you had enough for the bracers. And I go, shouldn't that be the same news? And she goes, well, there's also more bad news. And I go, hit me with it. She goes, that was a chakra beast. And I go, a what? And she goes, a chakra beast is a beast that grew up in a highly dense chakra area and knows how to use chakra. It gets passed down through the bloodlines after it adapts to the chakra. So you need to infuse your chakra into your cup now. Once a day, all of it. And I go, okay, that makes sense. And she goes, quick question. And I go, where'd you get this scroll? I got it from the market with Panda-chan in it. Panda-chan? Yeah, I forgot her name, so I just call her Panda. Yeah, she hates it. It's great. She goes, oh, God. I'll go verify your story. Goes, you don't need to. You don't. She goes, did you steal it? And I go, hell no. If I steal anything, it's food for Naruto. And she goes, why did you steal food for Naruto? The next time you catch Naruto by the scruff of his neck, rip off his jacket and shirt. You'll see why. She goes, okay. I go back to the class. I finally named her Elizabeth. I just say Liz for short. And I put a special seal on her collar to dampen all noise above a certain volume, so it doesn't irritate her ears and she can still hear everything. I walk into class and everybody looks at me and sees the lump in front of my chest and they're like, what is that? And I go, I got a partner. They're like, what? I thought you said you were going to be partnerless forever. And I go, I'll tell you at lunch. So Iruka's like, something happened in the forest and it's all hands on deck. So today is a day off, but we still want you to do certain assignments. And I go, okay, hand out the assignments and I'm taking my friends to my house. He goes, but it's a Tuesday. You normally go on a weekend. I go, just do it. He goes, fine. Hands out the assignments. I grab Naruto by the scruff of his neck and say, you're coming with me. And he sees we walk into the compound and I take a left. My house is on the right. And I say, everybody else, go to my house. I'll be right back. And Naruto was taking this route long enough, because he's been my friend for a good 2 years, long enough to know exactly where we're going. I start holding him off the ground and straight into the vet. I go, I got a pup that doesn't want to have his shots. And he goes, I can take shots. And he goes, are you sure about that? And he goes, yeah, why? I walk into the back, and he sees the doctor, and he starts squirming, and I go, and there we go. Hana's like, okay, I got his feet. I hold him above the table, just barely above the table. So she straps down his feet. I put his head down, hold his chest down, and he starts flailing. Hana grabs one of his arms, straps it down, grabs another one of his arms, straps it down. And finally, she pulls a collar on him and hooks it to the table. And all of a sudden, I see red appear on Hana's face. It's just his face. And I just stare at her. And she goes, what? I go, I did not know you were into that. And she goes, what? And I go, I think you got this. He's locked down tighter than Kuromaru is when he's here. I grab Hana's arm and start pulling her out. I shut the door. I lock it. I walk to another one of the rooms. Another one of the examination rooms, which have privacy seals in it. I open the door, push her in, close the door. I'm like, you're into BDSM. And she's like, what? No, I'm not. And I go, really? And she goes, I'm not. And I go, okay, prove it. And I went through hand seals, Genjutsu, fever dream. Like the best things you ever see. And it's a high ranking Genjutsu, so I can peer into it if I want. I look into it and I go, oh my god. And I leave the viewing part of it and see her on the ground, just drooling, nosebleed, everything. And I'm like, damn. I cancel the jutsu and she finds that she's on the ground, drooling, nosebleed, pants completely soaked through. And she jumps up and grabs me and goes, you tell anybody you're dead. And I go, I go next to her here and go, he's a masochist. Immediately, gout of blood, just a giant shot of blood comes out of her nose. Well, she slams into the wall. I clean her up as best I can. Drool, nosebleed, everything. And I wrap her in a towel. Pick her up. Friggin' fireman carry, or potato sack carry, whatever you want to call it. And I walk home. Put her in bridal style. Hand her my mother. And she's like, what happened? I go, I found her kink. And Soom's eyes widen and goes, what is it? I go, you got a private room where they won't hear it? And she goes, yeah. So I walk in, shut the door, and she turns on the privacy seals. And Hana's finally waking up a little. I go, yeah, she's a dom. And Hana snaps fully awake at hearing that. Sees Soom with just jaw on the ground, being like, what? And I'm just smirking with my evilest smirk. I'm like, I'm telling Anko, Kurenai, and Yugal. And Hana's like, no, don't. And I go, first off, I know Anko is the same as you. Kurenai, I do not know if she's the same as Naruto, but I believe so. And Yugal, just normal. She doesn't kink shame. So, meh. So, we go out, and my sister, Hannah, completely red in the face, runs to her room, and everybody's looking at me like, what? I go, what? I go, oh yeah. I yell back, Hana, you need to unlock Naruto. And all you just hear is thump. I go, damn. Where's the key? Suma's like, it's over there. Grabs the key. I'll be right back. I need to go get Naruto. I run back to the thing. I unlock the door. I walk in. The doctor's gone. I look at Naruto and go, yeah, my sister can't look at you anymore. And he goes, why? And why did you lock me in here? I go, well, I know you're scared of doctors. I'm not scared of doctors. I don't like doctors. Same thing as scared of doctors. And, well, let's just say, yeah, I told my sister kink. And he goes, you did what? I go, yeah, you may have another stalker. He goes, oh God, if it's another Hinata. And I go, nope. He goes, okay, what is she stalking for? Tying you up and probably flogging you. His face goes bright red and he goes, you know what? I'm not going to even attempt to understand your sister. I go, I don't understand her either. So now, here's the little plan. When you hit Jenin, I'm going to send her into this place. I'm also going to send you into this place. You guys do not hook up by the end of the day. I'm locking you both in a room with a leather suit. Now, if you don't come out of there with at least a little bit of blood smell on you, I am immediately taking you to the river and drowning your ass. And he goes, I kind of can't deny that. I go, okay. Now, let's go back to our friends. Completely forget about all this kink stuff. And he goes, okay, first off, did you know? And I go, oh God. Choji has the eating one. Shikamaru has the dom. I go, I knew the both of those. Did you know Ino is actually another masochist? I look at him like he's gone bat insane. And he goes, yeah. I did not know this either. I start mumbling something. He's like, what? I go, nothing. And he goes, you never told us yours. And I go, you ain't learning what mine is. And he goes, why? I go, man, if I find the perfect female for me, I'll know. But currently, there is no perfect female for me alive. And I think, but there is one dead. I hear a "aww" in my head, and I go, "Ah, oh, crap." She heard. Well, I'm screwed anyway. Narsha looks at me like, hey, I just looks at me because I had the face of, I just got kicked and I'm a puppy face. And I go, well, I'm screwed. And he goes, what? He goes, well, I'll tell you later in life. And he goes, okay. We go to friends. We skip 2 more years. And these past 2 years, I've talked to the Hokage, I've talked to Haruka, and I've talked to the Shinobi Council in general. The only one who was a dick to me was Hiyashi, and that's because he's always a dick. Because he can't get his rocks off on his wife anymore. Yeah. Uh, a lot more. Well, we go to the last day, and Ruka goes, I know it's been a hard last 2 years because we had a curriculum change and a technique change for a few of you. And I go, yeah, that technique was a lifesaver. I didn't have to do my homework anymore. Everybody looked at me and go, what? You guys didn't expect me to use my earth, water, or earth or water clones to do my homework? They know just as much as me. And they all look at me like, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I do that? I look directly at Naruto and go, sadly, your clone has to makes you feel like you did your homework. And he goes, I know. Eric was like, let's not get into that. It's time for the final exam. Since our curriculum changed because of a intelligent young man over there points at me, I'm like, hey, I'm offended because of that. And everybody looks at me like I'm stupid. I go, I'm not intelligent. I'm anti-intelligent. Everybody looks at me like I'm even more stupid. I'm like, what? I just hear laughter in the back of my head. I go, just because I don't want to be known as intelligent, genius, prodigy, or any of that, doesn't mean I can't be smart sometimes. Shikamaru is banging his head on the desk because I'm hurting his brain. Choji's just still eating chips because he's ignoring the world. And Naruto's just looking at me like I'm stupid. And I go, that's the look I want on my enemies' faces. Until I cut their head off and probably rip out their intestines with their own rib cage. And I'm like, how does that work? I go, don't worry about it. I might even use their rib cage as a hopscotch. Their chest cavity as hopscotch. Who knows? And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy and go, just get on with the test. And he goes, okay. Since the mental test is pretty much bullcrap at this point, I made my own test. Pulls out the papers and goes, and I'm the only one who knows how the answers for these. So I'm the only one who can grade these. So he goes around passing out the tests and he goes, I don't care where you came from, who you are, or how much the village hates you. Looks at Naruto. I will grade you fairly. If you failed, I'll tell you that. If you got every answer right and passed my expectations of you, I'll tell you that. But I will not lie to you and tell you you are a prodigy. Looks at Naruto and Sasuke because they're sitting right next to each other. I'll not lie to you and tell you you're better than you actually are. Looks at Sasuke completely. I'll tell you the truth. So Iruka goes back to the front and sits down at his table and says, begin. I finished the test really quickly and put my head down. And I feel some move at my feet because it's been 2 years. Chakra beasts are special creatures that have an increased growth rate because they got to survive in the wild. And she now looks like a fully grown wolf. Her mother looked 5 times as big. But the bear clawed her up and yeah. I see her and I start petting her, playing with her underneath the table. Iruka looks at me and goes, put her back to sleep. I go, I can't. Not until she knocks herself out. And he goes, God damn it. He tosses the ball to me and says, go outside. I go, yes, sir. Pick up my test, walk with the ball, and she follows me. And I put my test on the table and walks out. He looks over it and he goes, slams it on the desk and says, God damn it. I hate how smart he is. On the paper was, I just answered with gibberish. Because none of this actually matters in the real world when it comes to actual fights. Like, what is the perfect angle for kunai and shuriken? Sorry, but I just throw it with muscle memory. I don't know the perfect angles. He stamped it with an A, slammed it on the desk again, and he goes, I really hate him. In a good way. And he's mumbling to himself, and everybody here says, I really hate him in a good way. So, end of the test. I'm still outside. He goes, time to go outside for the shuriken, kunai, and sparring. Then, one ninjutsu person, and everybody goes, why one? And he goes, well, if we do it in here, he's going to crush us with his specific kind of clone. And Naruto goes, Sensei? And he goes, what? He goes, I also can do that with my clones. And he goes, yeah, well, your clone jutsu also has a singular version, which has a less effect. So why don't you use that version instead of the multi version? He goes, fair. And they all go outside and they see that I'm running around, not sweating, running around really fast. And he goes, God damn it. Kiba and Naruto. I jump into the circle. She jumps in with me and I grab the ball. And I'm like, I look at Naruto and say, you think I can make it into the house? And he goes, nah, vet clinic. I go, that's further. And he goes, I know, it's a challenge. And he goes, oh, I see your challenge and I raise you one. If I get this into the clinic and hit my sister, and he goes, if you hit your sister, you're dead. And I go, I know. Let's see if I can do it. I cock my arm back and toss it. All I hear is a sonic boom from the ball. Liz just darts off because she knows where that ball is going. So, Liz appears in the Inuzuka compound while I and Naruto are currently fighting. And here's a crash to the left. Not to the right, to the left. And runs that direction. And breaks through the door with a crash. Sees the ball at the feet of Hana. Hana sees Liz and goes, God damn it, Kiba. And Liz barks a few times and Hana goes, I know. I don't understand a single thing you say. And she goes, I'll try throwing it back. Give it to me. Liz picks it up and gives it to Hana. Hana grabs it and goes, this is a really heavy ball. How the hell did you throw it so far? But I'll try. Zoom runs out, hearing the crash, sees Liz dart to the vet, runs up and goes, what the hell is that crash? And Hana throws the ball at Zoom and goes, throw it at Kiba. And she goes, he's at the academy. And she goes, yeah. And he just threw that at me. Probably betting Naruto or something if he could hit me. And she goes, you know, I think I know who to call. And she goes, Liz, fetch Choza. Liz immediately darts off and fetches Choza. He comes back and Zoom goes, you have one shot to nail my son in the head. And he goes, "Will do." And she goes, "What did he do to you?" "He switched the meat out for vegetables this morning." And she goes, "Hold on." She grabs some needles and other stuff and starts jabbing them into the ball. So now it's a porcupine looking ball. And she goes, "Here you go." Chozo grows to full size, sees Kiba and Naruto fighting, and sees me and Naruto fighting, and goes, "Time to nail him," and throws it full strength at me. Naruto saw Chozo grow, and he goes, "What did you do to the Akimichi?" And I go, I switched out their vegetables for meat. "Don't worry, the vegetables are in the meat, and the meat are in the vegetables." And Choji's like, "So that's where they went." I go, "Oh yeah, I forgot we have an Akimichi here." Stops the match, walks over to the edge, and all you just hear is boom. I look back and go, "Huh, perfect timing." Pulls out a bag of jerky and hands it to Choji, and he starts munching on the jerky, and he goes, "Meat." And I kind of want to see their reaction to getting free jerky. I look back and see the ball, and it's full of needles. I'm like, I think my mother did something to the ball. And Naruto's like, "What do you mean?" I pull the ball out by a needle, and I go, "See?" And all of a sudden, I hear boom, boom, boom. I look back, and I see Chozo pouting and whining like a toddler. And he starts drinking down. I go, I thought my mother threw this. So I start pulling out the needles. Liz appears and sees me and starts barking like, "Hey, Dad, you gonna throw the ball again?" I go, "Yeah." To the right or to the left? And he goes, "Right." Okay. Pull out the last of the needles. I cock my arm back, and Uruka's like, "Oh, God. Why does this always happen when it's the important days?" Something breaks it up, and I throw it. Zoom hears the sonic boom and goes, "Ah, shit. Where is it coming from? Where is it? Who's it going for?" And Chozo goes, "Probably Hana again." Hana goes, "No, it's not coming for me." And they're trying to bicker on who gets it. And Kuramaru's like, "It's going for Zoom." And they all look up, and Zoom just sees it and goes, "Should I take this?" It's in a split second. "Should I take this? Should I dodge it?" Kuramaru's like, she's not going to dodge it in time. She starts bending her knees to dodge it downwards, when she should have just bent her head to the right to let it skim over where her forehead is. And it slams into the top of her head, slamming her into the ground, and she goes, "Damn! What have I been feeding that Gaki?" Brat, if you don't know. Hana's laughing her ass off as her mother's now friggin' on the ground. And Kuramaru, who hears barking, more of a howl coming towards him, and he goes, "Well, here comes Liz." She comes barreling around the corner and comes barreling into Zoom. Kuramaru could barely understand her sometimes. And she starts yipping grandma. And Kuramaru's laughing on the ground because she's starting to try to talk. Kuramaru just laughs on the ground really hard. Hana's like, "Hey, what are you laughing about?" And he goes, "She just called Zoom grandma." Zoom sees red. And Kuromeru's like, you still can't hurt him because he's in the middle of a test. And she goes, damn it, I'm killing him when he gets home. So we skip to the end of the test. I aced the test, but I didn't take Rookie of the Year. Nah, that's Naruto's thing. That's Naruto's thing. Sorry if you heard that. If you did, that's Sabotage by Beastie Boys. And that was my 9 o'clock alarm. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah. I'm currently hanging with Naruto, and Mizuki comes up and tells Naruto about the promotion exams to get a better spot because he got Rookie of the Year. I looked deadpan at Mizuki, put my thumb to one side and just dragged it across the other. And he shivered, because very, very faintly, but he shivered, knowing that I could actually do it. But Naruto's like, cool, what's the exam? Myself and Naruto hear this, and I go, okay, you'll do it. And he goes, but I didn't agree. And I go, you'll do it. Sumo overheard this all, and is just confused on why I said that. Mizuki goes, okay, come with me and I'll tell you where and when to meet me. And I go, can't I watch? If it's truly an exam, can't I watch? Because I'm better at sneaking than he is. And Naruto's like, true, he is better than sneaking. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, Iruka Sensei can catch Naruto. He can't catch me. And I hear, damn brat, from Iruka's window. Suma's trying really hard not to laugh. And Mizuki's like, okay. This training ground at this time. I'll be there. So, Mizuki left, and I looked right at Naruto and said, now what you need to do is go tell the Hokage we have a traitor. And he goes, what do you mean? You know that big scroll that he wants you to steal? He goes, yeah. That's called the Forbidden Scroll. That scroll has forbidden jutsus that aren't supposed to leave that scroll. And the people who know those jutsus are highly regarded in Konoha for their loyalty, A, and B, their jonin, or kage. So, yeah, I don't think you actually need that scroll because you already have the technique that would suit you best from that scroll. And Sue comes around the corner, and how do you know? And he goes, I didn't just sneak into the Hokage tower and steal stuff. I saw scrolls, and I looked at stuff, and I did stuff I wasn't supposed to. I didn't tell anybody about it. I didn't go around blasting the information. I ain't telling crap about what I found about in the tower. A, it's not a place to tell what I found. And B, really? Red and yellow? Especially the spiral on the red one. He really needs to be told about the red one at least. And Soom is just bailing, and I go, yeah. And he goes, what do you mean you're red and yellow? And I go, you'll learn later in life. He goes, I want to know now. And he goes, well, if you can break into the Hokage Tower and you could find the red and yellow scroll in the Hokage Tower and get a fake forbidden scroll and pass them a scroll and say, unseal that in the Hokage Tower and you'll get the fake scroll. Remember, steal the real forbidden scroll in here and put it in the Hokage's desk. Preferably we're at the porn stash. So when the Anbu search the room, they could find the scroll that says, secret forbidden scroll. Next to the porn stash. And he can get beat up by a few. Kunoichi. Sum looks at me like I've just grown a second head, and I go, I may act stupid, but I'm not. And she looks at me like I grew another head, and I go, who do you think put a gravity seal on Liz's collar? Who do you think put a chakra storage seal on Liz's collar? Who do you think made the scroll that I used for the Liz's mother's body? And Liz is standing next to me like, what? I'll tell you in a minute or two. And she goes, okay. And she goes, I knew you made... I did know you made that scroll. How good? I'm like, I don't know. A toad signing is the only one who can test me to tell me how good I am. I've gotten every single seal book that I could out of the library, though. Including the Jonin section. And she looks at me like I'm just growing more and more heads. I go, well, now I have to break the bad news to Liz. Thanks for that. And Naruto has a fake mission to go on. And then a real mission to succeed in. I'm going home. Hopefully to have a heart-to-heart with Liz. And hopefully make her more bonded with me. Because I have not wanted to keep this secret from her for how long ever I did. So I'm going home. So I arrive home and Hana is just glaring at me. I'm like, first off, beat me to pulp tomorrow. And I'll see your boyfriend. And made it to Jenin. Her face goes crimson a little. And I go, see you tomorrow. Or we're probably going to have a spar. I'll show you my true talents in taijutsu. And yeah. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, well, I've worked tirelessly on two taijutsu styles. My own and using class. So, I'm going to go to my room, meditate with Liz. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I meditate with Liz on my lap, and we go into the soulscape with Liz. And we see someone very special. Her. We see her. I go, yo, beautiful. She looks back and goes, you've used that so many times it doesn't affect me anymore. I go, it's still a compliment. It's still true. And her face just goes a little pink. I go, hey, there's the effect. And she just glares at me and I go, what? We have to tell Liz. And we both look at Liz and she goes, what, Mom? What, Dad? I go, well, we're not your biological parents. She goes, I know. I look at her and go, good. Your biological mother died. She died a few days after you were born to a bear. Well, she was dying to a bear, and I put her out of her misery because she was in pain. I don't like seeing creatures in pain for very long. Now, broken leg, we give her a few painkillers, cast the leg up. She's good for the next week. Take the cast off, and she'll be fine. But her wounds were too bad. She's bleeding out. So I finished it. And she goes, is that why I smell like the gauntlets you use, the arm guards you use? And I go, yes. These were made out of the fur of your mother, your biological mother. She goes, oh, okay. Quick question. I go, She goes, you're still mom and dad, right? I go, yep. And when I become not mom, or when I become not dad, you have permission to bite me in the butt till I'm dad again. She goes, good. I prefer dad. Oh, that's fine. So how's your talking coming? I can say grandma. I look at her and go, you say that in front of Zoom, I'm dead. I already did. Crap. That's why she came to get me out of the academy instead of Kurmauer. She goes, yep. I go, well, time to plan my funeral. She goes, you're not dying yet. And I go, why? She goes, well, Grandma said this. And while Liz is explaining that, we go back to Naruto, who's getting followed by a hunter ambu team of Jonin Inuzukas. Naruto was tested to be a sensor nin, and he knows that they're following him. And Tsum told him while they were walking to the tower that she'll send some people to keep an eye on him, and if he can't beat Mizuki will be beat by her hunter team. So after the Jonin and Chunin were sent out to look for Naruto, captured unharmed, Tsum walked up to Hiruzen and told him the whole story. And Hiruzen's like, I don't have a porn collection in here. And she goes, stop lying. He told me exactly where it is. I already got the scroll. He goes, and why were you in my office before I got here? And she goes, first off, I'm the one who raised the alarm that the scroll was missing because I wanted to make an emergency appointment because my son's a lot stronger than he actually puts off. So I want him on a tracking team. And he goes, why do you want him on a tracking team? Well, Liz is not a fighter. Liz is a tracker. And here's Liz, his partner. I thought he didn't have a partner. Long story short, he got a partner, middle of woods. Her name's Liz. And, well, she doesn't leave his side unless he's playing with her, and that game is fetch. And he goes, okay. I'm going to end it here. So a lot of information was spilled. Naruto's not as stupid as he originally was in canon. Liz is my partner, not Akamaru. Akamaru is somebody else's partner, because I'm not killing off Akamaru. Akamaru's a nice puppy. Akamaru's a good puppy. But didn't mesh with me. So Akamaru's with somebody else. Another Inuzuka. So you met her, the one in my head. Not saying her name currently, because I have no need to say her name. Liz, she knows her origins, even though she doesn't know them exactly until now. What else? Oh yeah. If you like this episode, please consider subscribing, liking, and commenting your ideas of what I could have done better if you're a content creator. And if you're not, well, give me ideas for this story. These ideas should come from other stories or music or animes or anything that can inspire you to make this story better. Because I take requests. And no, I'll not insult you in such a manner, because I take requests of insulting you guys. Because you guys are the unsmooth criminal empire. And I'm your leader. The unsmooth criminal. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Talk to you guys later. Goodbye.